This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Oh, good. Ooh! Double doink.
This is a great setup, Bob.
9 to noon. Ooh.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
All right, 11:09. Good morning, Sultan. The Sultan, about 25 minutes from now. Before we delve into or dive into the world of sporting activity, how are you becoming such a good friend with one of my best friends, Tim Siegley, the owner of First Resource Bank?
Mm-hmm.
I did a speaking engagement for them middle of the week last week. Alec Lewis with The Athletic, theathletic.com, and his podcast. I've hooked him up with Alec, but I don't believe or with Tim. I don't believe I hooked you up with the banker. I believe this just happened organically. And what's going on with this covenant here?
Well, it's just ironic, right? Is your one of your best friends and Tim Siegley is my parents' neighbor in Matamidi.
You're kidding me.
Lives across the street.
We also co-own a horse.
We were talking about that last night, actually, ironically. So Taylor and I went and visited my parents last night, watched a little Sunday Night Football, turned into the Wolves a little bit. Mom made chili, the whole deal. And we're sitting outside.
Chili.
You made chili last night?
Yeah. Does your mom drop a chocolate bar in it?
No. Is that a
Hershey
hack?
bar?
A little sweeten it up a little bit?
A little bit of a hack.
Okay.
I mean, the food connoisseur is in the other room.
Yeah.
The cooking connoisseur, culinary connoisseur, I should say.
Con.
In Nordo, so I don't know how he makes his chili, but I got a lot of respect for his preparation. My next door neighbor, Cotton John, despite his proclivities for Green Bay Packers football and having Gilbert Brown gnomes atop his driveway, I mean he's a fine cook. So I took part of my chili recipe, which includes a lot of chili powder and meat and some beans,
of course,
and took it over to him, and he signed off on it. But then he's like, nah, we need this with the Hershey bar at the end, right at the end.
Okay.
Made a difference.
Brown sugar effect almost a little bit, too.
I think so.
Yeah, who knows?
How was your chili?
It was delicious. It was great to see my parents, hang out with them and Taylor. One of the last, decently nice nights of summer/fall. So we had a little bonfire out. We're watching the Sunday Night Football game. We're switching back to Wolves, and all of a sudden we hear a yell down from the end of the driveway, and sure enough, there's Tim.
It's the banker.
Yeah, there's the banker walking his dog, and so we call him up to say hello, and he came up, and first thing he asked, "What's the score of the Wolves game?" What's the score of the Wolves game? So we chatted with him for a while. Great duo. We chatted race horsing. We talked about everything for a good 20 minutes, and he has this cute little dog, Gabby, and Taylor's a big dog fan, so she got her dog time in yesterday, and yeah, it was perfect. Great to see him, and just great to hear what he's doing with the bank, and obviously with the racehorse, and so many good things here.
So what's the long play here? Are you trying to get into his Medtronic tickets at U.S. Bank Stadium? You trying to get into those courtsides with the Timberwolves?
That's right.
Or are you just interested in your recent FICO score?
It's all about the FICO score, right? No, it's trying to just continue to meet great people, right? Like any people you put in my life or anybody you associate yourself with, I know they're going to be rock star type of people. So great to have finally met him. He's lived across from my parents for forever. My dad and him have built a good relationship, but he's never been around when I'm around. So of course it's pitch back last night about 8:30, and he comes rolling up the driveway. So great to see him.
Today is a Turn the Page Monday for 9 to noon on the first 7 with the Minnesota Vikings. And I started off with, we started off hearing somebody who I can't recall ever being critical of Minnesota Vikings football, certainly the way he was, Dan Orlovsky. He's so praiseworthy of this with McCarthy, this with O'Connell, this with O'Connell attacking a middle zone, this with O'Connell getting run out of Josh Dobbs. He's so complimentary of Vikings offense, specifically O'Connell, that he savaged the roster makeup. It's like it's worse than the NFL.
Wow.
You're not getting anything out of it. And other than that, Miss Lincoln, how was the play? So we started there with let's turn the page on that. Okay. And let's give Dan Orlovsky reason in a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, to come out and say, you know what? About 3.5 weeks ago, I said A, B, and C. Well, they've turned around A, B, and C.
Yeah.
So credit where credit is due. Secondly, the turn the page on the first 7 included these beefeaters in disguise. Okay, so you got offensive linemen, let's call them beefeaters. When they put an extra one in, well, that's extra beef. So that's the unbalanced part of the equation. The beefeaters in disguise that are getting us of late, it goes back to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
The 6'7", 300-pound tight end, Darnell Washington. He's not a beefeater. He's a beefeater in disguise. Why? Because he's a skill guy.
Yep.
And then it really frustrated me this last game, this 44 for the Chargers. Scott Matlock. All right, he's fullback / defensive lineman. They use him very sparingly on the defensive line, but they have packages for him. Well, he had played 38 plays in the 3 games up to the Vikings game. All right, so they're down Najee Harris, they're down Amari and Hampton. All right, so they need to reinvent their running game.
Yeah.
Well, part of it involves this beefeater in disguise, this 44, this Matlock, third-year Boise State's never scored a touchdown. He's not an offensive lineman. He's not really a beefeater, but he's a beefeater in disguise. And they played him 41 plays in our game.
Wow.
Okay, so now if the score isn't as lopsided, and if Harbaugh is not running because he wants to get out of there alive, kill the clock, got a big lead, the whole thing. I don't know if he would play 41, but he's going to play 35, 34, 33.
Yeah.
He played 38 the previous 3.
Crazy.
So here's what bugs me, is that when teams are starting to do that, that's indicating that you may even know this is coming, because we saw the extra offensive lineman, Fred Johnson, for the Eagles, look like a jumbo package run play. We went over the top 79 to Smith or whomever for the touchdown. We saw what tight end Darnell Washington did to you, along with an extra offensive lineman, Spencer Anderson. So they had 6 offensive linemen, and then this 6'7" tight end who's like an offensive lineman. So they basically had 7 guys with the indicator, this current iteration of defense you're putting out there without Van Ginkel, you can't stop this. And see, that's what's lingering with me, and why a face change is required and turning of the page is required.
Definitely.
Because that when defensive coordinators or defensive-minded head coaches, outside of losing, I don't think there's more they despise than getting run on.
Yeah.
Because that's an indicator it was a fight. It starts with collision and colliding at the point of attack.
Yeah.
And we whooped your ass. I mean, in this fight, we went for more than 200. You couldn't stop it.
Does that surprise you with Harbaugh, though?
Well, it to a certain extent, because and he ran with Kaepernick, and he ran, Jim wants to run.
Yeah.
Early in the season, he was using Jim Harbaugh like he was Dan Fouts. I mean, he was throwing 1 million times a game.
Yeah.
And then they lose those running backs, and they start to reconfigure the thing. I mean, Quentin Johnston, I don't even know why he's on the team.
Yeah.
Like, they never look his way.
Yeah.
But not every game. I mean, he'll put Herbert on 30 to 35 throws if it's the right game. But the thing that's getting me is that he absolutely overemphasized this is the right game to beat them up in a fight. And there will come a time they won't swing back. And Matlock was the leading charge for Vidal, and he was right.
Yeah.
And Mama said, knock the purple out, and the purple got knocked out. So we're turning the page on all of that. That's why I just went so long-winded and talked it out. because I want to
It's out
turn
of you now? You're good?
Well, I got to turn the page on.
I love it.
Because with the Lions on the horizon, they compensate a man named Dan Skipper.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yes, they do.
He's the extra offensive lineman they occasionally throw to. So it's coming again. Hopefully Van Ginkel's in the mix to counter it. Question is, will that be enough? But, are there some things on which you're turning the page when it comes to the first 7 and looking forward? And, I'm turning I'm turning on the page on this whole quarterback situation. I just want J.J. Season to be in there. I want J.J. Season to roll 10 games so we can start figuring out what we have. What's your take on all that?
Yeah, I think that's where I start, right? I think if you look at the quarterback position on Thursday, you almost felt bad for what was going on there to Carson, just like the grimacing every play, and then he goes to the sideline and, he's all beat up and he's hurt. And you just when is Brosmer time? When are we going to throw Brosmer out there? Or when are we going to at least do something where it doesn't look like Carson Wentz is dying out here on Amazon Prime? What do we got going on here? And I only was able to watch the first half. I was in Chicago in the airport before I had to take a flight back to Minneapolis.
That's all you needed.
That's about all I needed. I found out. So I think that's where I'm at, PA. Let's turn the page on Wentz. Let's go to JJ. Let's let JJ do his thing. Let's establish the run game. We got Aaron Jones back and healthy now. That was the most disappointing thing for me. You add that on to my 1.1 points from Jordan Mason on my fantasy. Don't love that either. But a total of 34 rushing yards in that game. That's something where if you try to win a football game, it's impossible with 34 rushing yards.
I think it'd be a really interesting study if people looked at teams that don't have their top 2 tackles.
Yeah.
And how they run in games.
Yeah, I know. It's so hard to watch. And we talked about it last week, right? Is the pocket time that Wentz had against a really good defensive line from the Eagles. But it was apparent again. And I know this Chargers defense was a little beat up, but they still have guys across the board making plays. And that was apparent. There was just nothing. And like I said, I only got a half.
It was a blank spot on the bingo card.
Exactly.
Does McCarthy season still have you guys excited?
Yeah.
Nordo, you first.
Are you kidding me? I can't wait for him to get back on the field. And, going down the lines, in some ways, through 8 quarters, we were doing the turn the page talkbacks earlier, and there are those, that there's a real element when you're judging J.J. McCarthy. The lack of availability factors into that conversation, right? So, the games that he's missed, whether it was a year ago, can't help these injuries, but all the same, they factor in. We only have 8 quarters. I mean, just everything that we built in, from Friday's conversation when you jumped in studio, PA, everything we were looking forward to, everything has gone completely freaking haywire from a health standpoint. D-line guys, new interior, the O-line. What did we want? What are we getting? I need this kid in my life. I need J.J. McCarthy out there so I know what the future could look like. Are there adjustments that need to be made, and how does that impact our draft conversation? Despite everything that's gone on, despite the 3-4 record, if JJ's able to take the field this Sunday, I can't wait for this game. I want to see him healthy. I want to see him slinging it around the gym and just continue to understand exactly, do we have the future at that spot, or do we need to look forward this offseason? Because PA, I mean, these games here, what are we talking about? I know we beat Browning. I know we beat Caleb Williams. The struggles that we've had in these games, think about the QBs, man. All those injuries that the Chargers have.
Wow.
The one spot where they're locked up is QB. And similarly, all the issues and things that the Eagles are going through, more self-inflicted than anything, but they got Jalen Hurts. Rodgers handling business, although he didn't last night, handling business against us in Dublin. The injuries and the issues that we have, a lot of that looks different if we have the big spot taken care of. And I'm hoping that that's JJ, and I can't wait to see him.
The way he just laid that out,
Excellent.
I guess I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Where, okay, so who have you beaten?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you beat Caleb Williams, who might end up being the worst of the first 6 quarterbacks played. Well, I mean, his coach is so frustrated with him. They reconstructed like into this last game against the Ravens. I'm like, okay, Ben's getting a chance to do it the way he wants to do it.
They looked like they had it figured out a little bit.
They ran for like 375 over 2 games. Mm-hmm. During said games, Caleb Williams throwing like 14, 16 times. All right, well, what happens when you're trailing on the road and you need him to throw?
Yeah.
Throws right to the other team. So okay, well, that's one of the ones we beat.
Mm-hmm.
We beat Jake Browning. who they like so much, they went out and traded for Joe Flacco.
I always love that one.
And we beat Dylan Gabriel in his debut, in his starting debut.
Yeah.
So wow. We're turning the page, though.
We're turning
the page.
Yeah, that all has to happen.
Yeah.
On a page turning Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Spearfish's head may have exploded already by now, or he just stopped listening. But nevertheless, that is part of the bottoming out process.
Yeah.
And yes, we choose, if we choose we want to bottom out with our number one winter distraction, well, we have a right to execute on said choosing.
Mm-hmm.
If others don't, they don't. Okay. We're turning the page. Because it's the aberration factor of things that we've seen with this team through the first 7 games. Man, sometimes we go 2, 3, 3.5 seasons, don't see this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to turn the page. We are going to shape what we believe the next page should look like tomorrow when we're at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. JJ season, you still excited for it?
I am. The one, kind of question mark that I have there is the beat up offensive line, right? The injury to Brian O'Neill now, the question mark on Christian Darrisaw.
I think they both play against the Lions and play the full game.
That's good news. And I think that's important for JJ, right? Coming off an ankle injury, hopefully he's truly healthy. You can put him out there if he has to make plays in the running game, if he has to escape the pocket, that kind of stuff. But just in terms of like looking forward, turning the page, getting excited about Vikings football, I think you have some fun games coming out, right? You have this rivalry game against the Lions at Ford Field in Detroit. Like, that's a tough one in itself, going in there to win. We haven't done that really well recently. What does JJ give you going into that one? That excites me. Maybe an injured Ravens team coming here, a Bears team coming here. Like, there's winnable games. There's tough games, but there's winnable games moving forward. I think it's going to show a lot about what JJ McCarthy has, but I really want, and I'm hoping that offensive line is healthy, because I think that makes all the difference for JJ as well.
Marathon segment with Parker at Parker Fox 24. Marathon segment courtesy of Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. You giggled again out of nowhere.
Well, I love Steve's, and you were talking about the freaking lint trap during the spot. That was my dryer. That was my lint trap, by the way.
Oh.
And Sarah, I mean, she was so good. It was so quick in terms of helping me out. When turning on the dryer was like starting a motorcycle in my mudroom. It was awful, and they helped me out. I like them, and now it might be fridge and range season.
Cinch.
I mean, it's JJ season in totality with the football team, but it might be fridge, range, and possibly dishwasher season at the Nordquist house.
It's all a cinch. I would start at shop deals at stevesappliances.com and then go see Sarah and Brian. That includes for Parker and or Taylor when they get married and they buy a home and they're looking for appliances and stuff. And that includes everybody listening right now. Because they're so giving and so loving to Steve's Appliances. I think it is so sweet how open they are to the naming of some of their appliances. For instance, under shop deals, you can see that they let Barrero name a washer. It's the White Agitator.
Thank you.
Top load washer. By Amana, 3.8 cubic feet, White Agitator.
Thank you.
Top load washer. Save $170 on it. That's pretty cool. Dan, I'm sure he's not listening, but
after oxes are gored, you take care of the whites.
just walking the dog and caught a stray.
It's a distinction without a difference.
Just caught a stray. All right. So from a Viking standpoint, if this gets real bad, do we sour on the NFL the way we did Major League Baseball due to Twins PTSD? Is the same thing going to happen with the NFL?
No.
I hope not. There's more future over on this side than there is on that side.
They're telling me if the Vikings lose 5 consecutive, go to 3-9, you're going to be super excited for Thursday, Sunday night, Monday Night Football.
All right, here's the deal.
Because I'm not.
Well, I'm still going to be excited for it because I want to see JJ turn out.
I'll be excited for Vikings games, but it's the PT. So let's look at it this way. Say I'm Corey Provis.
Okay, yeah.
And you're Poopy Dave. You're the stats guy or whatever. We do these games.
Right.
It's awful. There's PTSD. It's not getting better. Everybody hates us.
Yes.
Nobody's in the stands. Okay, that's just our professional lot in life.
It's true.
Okay, so we're going to do this because we recognize the blessing and the honor it is that God chose we get to do this, and it's a very cool job.
Yes.
but that doesn't mean I got to watch the rest of the league.
No, that's a good point.
what I mean.
I love the NFL so much, and I love the Vikings. My interest level, whether it's fantasy, it's reality. Baseball's different for me because they have an ownership group that has repeatedly taken me and thousands upon thousands of Twins fans for granted for 2 freaking decades. It's embarrassing. And when they're out, I'm out. And I'm actually tuning in right now, rooting for the Blue Jays.
Heck yeah.
This is a team that has never bottomed out. They've made myriad decisions, whether it's personnel, it's drafting, et cetera, turning the page, this, that, and the other thing.
Preach.
They've kept me locked in. And so I think what we're all kind of fighting right now, and Orlovsky mentioned it in that diatribe that he went on, the accurate one, that when he was kind of disparaging the roster, is you're in a battling expectations mode right now. This offseason, it was the idea we were upgrading the lines, but this was a team, I think Orlovsky's term was quarterback independent. We built a roster that if you just had some breathing QB back there, anybody with a freaking pulse can rock out with this roster and win 12 games. That has not taken place. The freaking thing's in shambles. Everyone's hurt, and the healthy guys, some of which are not performing very well at all.
Let it out.
So it's been a disaster. However, again, into this season, we have to hold on to the fact that we drafted a kid 10th overall. I need him to be healthy and on the field, and I can't freaking wait to watch him. So I shouldn't say I don't care. I want my team to win every game, but if we lose 5 straight and it's just ugly and it's bad, I am freaking locked in to see if we got something or we don't, and I can't wait for the whole thing to continue forward. Even if it's awful. We're battling expectations.
We're happy for you. Now, in closing,
The agitator.
before the Bengals game, when it comes to that half-hearted answer on, I'm still excited for JJ's season from Parker Fox, let's not forget yours truly driving to the stadium at like 8:15 in the morning.
Come on, that's real, PA.
Okay,
That's
I see
real.
a couple of good-looking kids walking across the street on Chicago, right by the stadium. One named Taylor Heisey, the other named Parker Fox, both sporting the newest, freshest number 9 jerseys
I always love that
anybody's ever seen, and now all of a sudden you want to put a one in front of the 9 and pretend you're a Thielen fan.
Just took the tag off that thing too. Just
Yeah.
ripped that NFL.
You used to
official
pop
ticker.
tags. Now you're not popping tags. What do you think of the Wolves through 3? Give us your best minute.
Yeah, I think there's some question marks right now. I think especially at the point guard position, we saw Dante kind of, take that spot over early. That's not his natural position, but I also want people to kind of pump the brakes on that a little bit. Yeah, he had a bunch of turnovers. Only 1 turnover last night in 38 minutes.
Pump the brakes on what?
Just on Dante at the point guard position.
Who else do you play 20, 30 minutes?
You don't. That's the question mark.
It's clearly they're out on Dillingham. They're out on him. That's it.
I think there's still time there. Yes, they're currently out, but he's still so young, and there's still time there. I really do think they like Bones Highland. They played him 20 minutes last night.
If there were a transfer portal in the NBA,
Rob would be in it.
Rob would have been in it last year.
1,000%.
I always love that
1,000%. And I do think that you still have to recognize his youth, and you still have to recognize the fact that he is a talent. What talent that is it fit in this Timberwolves roster? I don't know.
I like Dante at the point.
I do too as well, Nordo. And I think there's a lot of just hate from night one, and he struggled a little bit. But also you have to realize that's Drew Holiday, elite defender on you. So there's some of that as well.
I know it's just one postseason, but I'll forever just watching him when Brunson was hurt and the Trey McBride cat kind of sucked.
A good point.
And he was playing 40 minutes a night, dropping 30 on people at the point, ball handling, dishing it out.
Love it.
He was so good, and if we can recapture that, I'm excited for Dante.
Yeah, I think he makes us better. Certainly. This Pacers team we played last night is bad. They're struggling, especially without Benedict Mathurin, a little toe sprain right now. So it's a good one to get a win there without Anthony Edwards. People are a little nervous about that. I would say pump the brakes. Like, it's going to be okay. Soft tissue, hamstring stuff. Ant is a relentless worker. Probably spent a little too much time in the offseason pushing his body a little too hard. Now it's about management, right? 82 games. You're on the road, flying to the West Coast, to the East Coast, doing the whole thing. How do you get your body ready to play minutes? And as Tim Conley said a couple weeks ago, there's no one better than Anthony Edwards of bouncing back. Like we've seen these like opportunities and these instances where it's like, season-ending injury for Ant, and then boom, he's back dunking on somebody 10 minutes later. So I think Ant's going to be fine. Love where this Timberwolves team is at. Julius looked really good last night as well.
In closing, the banker just sent me a text.
The best.
The that open spot is going to somebody named Brody from Citadel.
I always love that one.
He's in Estonia, man. What is he going to do? What is he going to do from Estonia?
That's your younger brother.
That's my younger brother.
Yeah,
that's
Estonia.
Estonia. What you know about that?
Bad beat right there, bro. Okay. God bless you. Love you.
Love you too.
Taylor. See you on Wednesday. I believe around start of the show. Tell Taylor we say hello, and we'll talk soon. All right.
Yes. Love you, man.
Love you, bud. That's Parker Fox at Parker Fox 24. Around the corner, the Sultan of Smug. We told him 11:35. It's actually going to be about 11:42 because that's how we operate in the Covenant when it comes to those colors, and we really do it unabashedly. We have cash to give away right now, and well, here's 2 men in a con.
The Fan and 2 men in a junk truck. They want to give you a chance at some bonus bucks with the cash contest. So use the keyword cash at KFAN.com. KFAN.com, enter the keyword cash. You might.
To the end zone. It is Tucker Kraft having a night. Wow. Touchdown Green Bay. They beat Chuck Clark on a crosser. 24-yard touchdown reception.
Why don't you put your pants back on, Slappy?
Hey, Siny.
Good morning, Paul.
David Sinykin, the Sultan of Smug. He is the Upper Midwest champion of all that is green and gold football at TC Head Cheese via the X Machine. If you'd like to learn more about his pregame show, Packer Preview on Sundays. We got a podcast, Packer Review, and select Saturdays. He's with Double T and Greg Popovich for In the Zone right here at FM 100.3 KFAN. In absolutely pulling for Pittsburgh last evening.
Hi, Rube.
It's a divisional thing. I just would like to ask this question to start. Where was Nate Hobbs? where was Nate Hobbs to even this thing out a little bit?
Yeah, I'm glad the coaching staff listened to Packer Nation and said, give Carrington Valentine a chance. The dude wants to play. He's aggressive. He can cover. I think the Nate Hobbs experiment is over. He's a slot corner. Should Javon Bullard get hurt, he's the preferred slot corner. You got Hobbs in the pinch. But I think his days as a starting outside corner are history, and that's very good news for Packer fans.
Pigskin in the Purge.
The quarterback looked fantastic. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was so excited to see what he would do. You know, with all the build-up all week, not to say for the last 3 years, when you ever face Rodgers, how's it going to go? Yeah, he was magical last night. Obviously, the offense took some time to get going after the first touchdown drive. A couple 3-and-outs were frustrating. You go into halftime down 9 after the L on the field goal attempt, and I was pretty negative. You know, Pittsburgh's getting the ball to come out up 9. This might not be the night we all had hoped for, but man, what a second half! What a performance to just do that on that stage with all the Rodgers stuff, and I just, I get question that a lot of Packer fans do so much about what do you see in Jordan Love? What makes you think he's a top 10 quarterback? I heard it. I was in Ames over the weekend. I bet 5 guys came up to me. What do you think of Love? I'm like, I love everything I see. He steps up in the biggest moments. And last night was just the latest, almost a perfect night, getting Christian Watson back, unlocking Tucker Kraft. I mean, yeah, it's exciting to see what this kid's doing. And, he's just scratching the surface.
What'd you think of your defense?
I like the fact that they got off the field. I think A-Rod was 1 for 10 on third down, so I'm still a little concerned about the leaky run defense, but getting Devontae Wyatt back on the front, I thought made a big difference. They were really good on third down, and, when they had to get stops in the second half, I think 3 out of the 4 drives were 3-and-outs. So it was an improved performance. Seeing Rashawn Gary making some big plays in back-to-back weeks is an encouraging sign. I thought Edger and Cooper rebounded from a couple bad weeks with a really strong game last night.
You, in the annals of football, David Sinykin at TC Head Cheese, this is the border battle. David Sinykin, yours truly, Paul Allen. Don't add us. We've been doing it for more than 2 decades, no matter the results of either team. In the annals of the NFL, from a tight end standpoint, you have Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten, Joe Novacek, Don Warren, Travis Kelce, and Tucker Kraft, who has joined the chat. He's joined the conversation off last night. Seriously speaking, though, holy cow, was he good last night.
Yeah, he was incredible. I mean, 143 yards, and all but 12 of them came after the catch, and that's what sets him apart. He did it all last year. He stood out as a tight end who was one of the best yak guys in the league, and he's just really hard to bring down. He's got everything you want, plus he's a great blocker. And a couple off seasons ago, we read about how he had trained with George Kittle over the summer, and that was sort of the guy he looked up to. And I think he is becoming that well-rounded George Kittle type player who in this offense might end up being featured like Travis Kelce is in Kansas City. I just think going forward, he's going to be the number one option, and you've got guys like Watson and Golden and Reed and Dobbs that can have their nights and have their moments, but when you got to have a first down, when you got to make a play, Kraft is a guy that teams are having a hard time matching up with, and definitely trying to break down once he has the ball in his hands. Who
do you think is the team to beat in the NFC?
Well, I'm going to go with my squad because they beat Detroit when they met them head to head. I still think Green Bay looks like the most balanced team. They're going to get Philly on a Monday night here in a couple weeks. That's obviously the other team. I think those 3 teams are the best. I think the Rams are right there after that. But opinions change week to week. The Green Bay looks better when Watson and Wyatt are back on the team, and if they can stay healthy, I think they can be the team to beat. But it's very fragile, and you lose a couple guys, and suddenly you go down a few in the pecking order. Tampa Bay is going to still have some things to say. I get that. But if Jordan Love can deliver in big moments, if Josh Jacobs can get that calf healthy, and if Micah Parsons stays vertical, I give Green Bay a chance against anybody.
If you can, the Thursday in front of the Super Bowl, if you can leave at 9:30 in the evening, nonstop, and arrive at SFO at 11:47, that ticket's only $750, Delta main cabin. Otherwise, if you leave earlier in the day that Thursday, come back the day after the Super Bowl Monday, they're like $1,200-$1,300 round trip. You better act on this quickly, Siny.
Thanks for reminding me. I'll just ask Abbott now for my press credentials, just to make sure I get in ahead of the game. Maybe that's the way to go.
Who do you have next?
Carolina at home on Sunday, and then the Eagles the following Monday night at Lambeau as well.
That's special.
Man, Pierre is silly, man.
All right. Anything we need to know about Packer Review? Is it posted? What can we do to help you?
Packer Review is posted. Blake and I recorded it about 8 o'clock this morning, so you can find it on the iHeart app. Just search Packer Preview. It'll come up under that headline, and I have to say, Blakemore and I were a little giddy about our squad this morning compared to last week's show.
Yeah, and understandably so. Best of luck with the pod, and you and your family have a blessed week, and we will chat next week, all right?
Thanks, PA. Have a great week, bud.
Yep, no problem.
L.
They just don't understand how difficult that is sometimes.
Yeah.
L.
Back after this. Any quick hitters with turning the page that you feel like you need to unfurl before we leave, or do we just move on?
We've exorcised some demons today.
Yeah.
That talk back earlier hit me about pre-snap penalties, special teams related infractions. I want to turn the page on what looks like a lack of discipline at times, and I'm hoping into Ford Field and beyond we can all turn the page on that and just get our bleep together, man.
I don't think you've looked at this yet, but I did just for the purpose of page turning. The Lions are 8.5-point favorites already. Yeah. You saw it?
I saw it. Yeah.
8.5.
8.5.
That's 8. I mean,
as in more than a touchdown.
I mean, Roxy Roxborough, Las Vegas sports consultants, is like, yeah, we know Gink's coming. No, we understand.
Yeah.
8.5. Damn.
Tackle's coming back. Van Ginkel's coming back.
But
JJ
we're turning
season.
the page on it. Stop it.
We're trying to turn the page. Let's get it out of our system today. So tomorrow at TCO, we can build it back together again.
Thank you for turning pages with us.
Sorry, KFAN.
Kevin O'Connell joins 9 to noon at 11 a.m. tomorrow. For Nordo, I'm Paul Allen. Lady, come on in. Ladies and gentlemen, approaching the microphone now from the fighting city of Mankato, it's Big Daddy Con.
Speaking of turning pages, I had Grok write this rap today because I'm turning the page. A 3-14, bad defense. Let's see what X's AI put together.
Hey!
Yo, listen up. It's the squad in the slump. Got a 3-4 record, feeling like a bad dump. Never hot. Now we're just choking on fumes. Offense not balling, defense not bringing doom. Backfield leaking like a busted pipe. And the safety's asleep. And the corners can't swipe. The linebackers are ghost. And the tackles getting torched. Running backs are dancing, leaving us scorched. And the IR list longer than a CVS receipt. The QB slinging ice packs, not on their feet. Left tackle sidelined, he's nursing his knee. And the O-line's decimated, they cannot block a flea. Running back stacked like fallen dominoes. And the defense ends out, the whole crew in woes. Coach is scheming, but the hurt won't quit. We fighting through the pain, but damn, this is it. 3-4 blues, injuries piling high, defense in shambles, and we're all wondering why. But we grind, reload, come back twice as mean. From the trenches we rise, next win's our scene.
Sorry, KFAN.
Thank you, Grok.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.